Hello guys, welcome to Gongura Guidance. My name is Subhash Party, and this is a little bit about myself. And these are my dedications basically for Charu, who is preparing for 2024 attempt. She's my friend. And Rajesh Dhansari is helping me with all the technical stuff regarding making this video and other things. Whatever I'm going to be telling you in this video, I have learned it from Sandeep Maheshwari sir, Vision PYQ analysis videos, Michael Sandel lectures, Harvard University, and support from family and friends. So I would like to give credit to all of them. Basically, this video is going to be about how to score more than 125 marks in ethics. And before starting, we need to understand why scoring 125 plus is becomes extremely important, especially for ethics. Uh, in the overall scheme of UPSC cracking this whole examination. First and foremost, if we analyze the trend of especially the marks of the toppers, most of the toppers secure at least 125 in their ethics paper. Also, the ethics paper has very short syllabus. If you crystal clearly know all the points of the syllabus and then find out the PYQs about them, then it is very quick to finish this whole syllabus. Also, ethics gives you an opportunity to be unique and make your paper stand out from other toppers. GS1, GS2, GS3, there is a little bit of scope, especially in the substantiation part where you can give data or any indices or reports or any other examples. Or in the conclusion part, but ethics from every point, from intro to body to conclusion to every other thing, you can be unique and stand out apart from all the other people who are writing the mains. And even in the overall scheme of UPSC examination, if we analyze the marks of the trend, how people are going to get marks, especially who are giving mains, we'll understand that scoring 105 plus becomes extremely important in the ethics. So I'll be showing you analysis of at least top 50 people who are scoring top 50 rankers in the UPSC. So please note that these are only a median marks. In school, you would have learned about the average, median, and mode. These are the median marks where most of the toppers, especially in the top 50 rankers, secure. So in the optional, roughly they will be securing around 290. Some will have little bit of edge in one paper than the other paper, so I just put it as 150 and 140. But each individual paper can go highest up to 165s. This is the highest marks which you can get, but it is safely to we can target for 150 in one paper and 140 in another paper. It can go any paper one or paper two depending on your convenience. Personally, I scored 147 in paper one and 125 in paper two, and overall score was around 272 when I got income tax. I want to improve. I'm hoping to improve in this attempt. Let's see what happens. And in the essay, usually the top 50 rankers usually score around 130 marks. So we should also to safely secure at least in the top 50 ranks, so that even a general category student is able to secure the highly quoted IAS or IFS or any other if you are whatever you are preferring. It is safe for a general candidate student to secure top 50 and aim for whatever service he is going to. So you need to secure 130 plus. And anyways, the highest marks can go up to 150s in the essay paper. And third most important paper according to me is the ethics paper after optional and essay, which, as I told you before, you can be unique, you can be different from others, you can show good examples, you can cover quickly the syllabus and the output which it gives you back for the amount of input you are putting is hugely rewarding. So around 125 plus usually toppers will be scoring, but again, the highest marks can go till 150s. And if it comes to GS1 or GS2, roughly both are similar. Some people find it better to score in GS2, some people find it better to score in GS1. But roughly both papers are similar, especially people with geography optional or history optional will be scoring high in or sociology optional will be scoring high in GS1, and people with PubAd or PSR optional will be scoring high in GS2. But overall, it is usually safe to target around 120, 110 plus in each of these papers, and the highest marks usually go around 130s. Uh, As per my understanding of this exam, GS3 is the least rewarding. There are 5 or 6 different topics in just one paper. There is economics, there is environment, there is science and tech, there is disaster management, there is uh, some other topic which I'm unable to remember. There is internal security also. So there are so many topics in just one paper, and the output which it is giving is little bit less, is what I feel. It takes a lot of time to cover all the syllabus topics of GS3, but roughly the output of the top 50 students rise around 90, 95, this much only. And the top score usually goes only in the last 2 3 years, it is going around 110s. So if you count all this in mains, you should be targeting 860. These are the reliable marks, which means they are in your hand. You can do hard work and smart work and utilize help and guidance of others and safely secure 860 for marks if you are sincerely putting in efforts. These are in your hands. And when it comes to interview, it is highly subjective. It depends on which board you are getting, which kind of questions you are being asked, what is the mood of the board members at that point of time, how is your mood at that point of. This is huge lot of subjectivity factor in this. It is safe to target around 170, but don't keep don't rely too much on interview marks. You have to rely solely on mains marks only. So overall, you should be targeting around 130, which can safely secure you top 50 rank. So even if you are a general category student, you can get whatever service you are preferring. It can be IAS, IFS, or IPS, or any other thing which you are preferring. So this should be your aim. So in this overall scheme, scoring 125 plus in ethics becomes hugely important. Even if you have any other kind of benefit such as reservation or any other thing, don't rely on it in your preparation strategy. If it is giving you any extra advantage, take it, but don't rely on it during your advantage. You have to target for 130 marks so that you can safely secure a good enough rank. So what you should do to secure safely 125 marks is, this yellow part is where I'll be helping you. This blue part is what you have to do. So roughly my role will be only half of the whole thing which you have to actually do to secure more than 125 marks. Even before watching the video, you have to do some things such as having a bit of basic understanding of the concepts of ethics, and do not make notes just based on basic understanding. I'll be telling you how to make notes. Just have basic understanding, because in my video series, I'm going to make a video series on the whole ethics where I'll be covering each and every topic. So after, just have a basic idea and then watch the video series so that you are able to understand what I'm actually trying to tell you. And I'm not a lecturer, I'm an aspirant just like you. So I'm not very good at explaining concepts, but I know in which direction each individual can go so that you are able to quickly complete the syllabus. My own whole sole aim is to make you quickly complete the syllabus, refer to some PYQs, and make you understand how to structure your answers, intro, body, and conclusion part, and analyze some few toppers copies so that if there are any new trends or if there are any innovative concepts which are being used by them, we can directly incorporate them rather than thinking by our own self and getting some new innovative idea. If someone is having innovative idea, we can always utilize it, take help of them. So these three is what I'll be focusing on. As I've said, I'll be finishing topics as per syllabus. I'll also show you PYQs and so see the trends, and we'll be also covering few topics just one step further. And next, what you have to do is, after watching the videos, you have and having and making some notes, you have to by heart, either by heart or you have to make mnemonics, because in the examination hall you will only get 7.5 minutes to finish 110 marker. If you think and write, whenever you're thinking once to write one point, you will waste around 10 to 15 seconds. For each point, you will be wasting 10 to 15 seconds. You will first think and you will align it to the demand of the question and then write. But if you by heart, you will have some 5 points which you can directly align to the demand of the question. So the 10-15 seconds per point is going to make a difference of 2 to 2.5 minutes per question. And if it comes to the end of the whole paper, you will be missing at least 2 or 3 questions if you are writing solely based on thinking and writing. So you shouldn't think and write. You should already have few by hearted topics or tools which such as key concepts which I'm going to tell you how to make and collect in your notes, and then use those key concepts to align to the demand of the question. Quickly have framework of intro and body, conclusion, so that you do not waste time even in the intro and conclusion part. Straight away come finish intro and conclusion, and in the body use what you have by hearted to align to the demand of the question, and then finish the answer in exactly 7.5 minutes or less. This is what I'm talking about. So now it comes to how to attempt the whole ethics paper. You shouldn't try new things in your examination hall. What I'm going to tell you, if it suits you, first try it in any test series. If it suits you, repeat it multiple times and exactly follow this pattern in the main examination hall. Don't try to if this doesn't suit you also, it's fine, but whatever you have practiced in the test series that you have written, use that only in the main examination hall. Don't try any new patterns. For me, what which has worked was finishing the 10 markers straight away. If possible, I would have finished 13 also, because the 10 markers is what which fetches huge marks compared to the case studies. I didn't find case studies to be marks fetching, because I personally feel that it is better to impress the examiner with 13 different topics rather than 6 different topics. Even though case study may be 20 marker, overall it is only one topic. So overall you will be impressing for 120 marks using only 6 different topics. And even in those 6 topics also, basically there will be 3 or 4 themes only. Either you will be persuading, or you will be deciding based on utilitarian, or you will be deciding based on deontology, or you'll be convincing, showing leadership skills to a larger population, or you will be persuading some senior or junior. Or so there are roughly only 3 or 4 themes, but the case studies vary based on these themes. So it's not even 6 different topics, it is roughly around 3 to 4 themes only. But it's not so in the questions part. In questions you have 13 different themes where you can impress the examiner and make a better impression. Also, when the evaluator starts evaluating, he'll start evaluating from your first, second, third, fourth question in this way. So straight away, if you are able to make a good impression by writing good answers in the 10 markers, uh, it will be better, is what I feel. So for first impression, overall impression, and even if you see the trends, most of the toppers who finish 10 markers on time are able to complete case studies, but who take lot of time in case studies are not able to write 10 markers in a better way. So so out of the 13 questions, what I would suggest you is divide it into 10 known questions and 3 unknown questions. These 10 questions should be what are well known to you, or you have by hearted them, or they are easy to recollect for you. So straight away finish those 10 markers in 7.5 minutes. So it will roughly take you around 1 hour 15 minutes. And then finish the case studies. I don't want you to leave any case study till the end, because in the end, when even if there are 5 minutes, you can just see a question and write at least half page, which can fetch you decent marks. But when there is only 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you cannot read a case study properly and answer it comprehensively. So do not leave any case study till the end. After finishing 10 questions, straight away finish all the 6 case studies, and you shouldn't exceed more than 15 minutes. Practice multiple times so that you are able to finish each case study in 15 minutes only. So roughly it will take you around 1 hour 30 minutes and 1 hour 15 minutes for the 10 markers. So only 10 markers will be remaining, and these are a little bit, they'll be either a little bit not comfortable for you, or there might be new topics for you, or you might be writing from understanding, because you have to think and then write. So they might take a lot of time. So do not wait. If you give more time to these questions at the start, you will end up taking 10 to 12 minutes to finish the 2 pages, and it will waste lot of time. So it is better to leave them till the end only, and whatever you can write in 5 minutes, quickly think, align to the demand of the question, and straight away finish those. In 15 minutes, you can write three such 10 markers in the last 15 minutes. This way, you won't be leaving any question, and even you'll be. I feel it is better to utilize the time. This suited me. If it suits you, once or twice try it in your test series. If it is suiting you, then please go ahead with it. Now, when it comes to writing answers, I want to first discuss about the aesthetic part and then the content part. This is actually not that important, but when we are trying to aim for the top 50 rank, we cannot afford to lose even half mark also. So what if even we have written a good content, for it being either not eligible or for it being only for only 1.5 page of the answer? What if he wanted to give rather than only 6 instead of 6.5? Are you willing to take that risk of losing half mark? I don't think no person would want to take that risk, because in every 1 mark there will be at least 8 to 10 students at the topmost ranking ladder. So even half mark counts. And of course, anyways, half mark in each paper will get rounded off to 1 mark. So imagine fighting with 10 people just because your handwriting is not legible. And I'm not talking about not being beautiful. Just go and see toppers copies in Vision website. Most of the toppers handwriting is not good. Even my handwriting is not good. But every topper's handwriting is legible. So it should be legible. It means the evaluator who is evaluating it should be able to read and understand what he's evaluating. It should not be with something like very blurry, or it shouldn't be. It shouldn't stress him to make him understand what you are trying to tell him actually. So it should be legible, and do not confuse it with beautiful. And don't leave pages. This is not. I am not sure, but personally, I feel that you should not leave any page. Uh, if you follow the pattern which I have said, it is easy to fill both the pages in 150 words. If your handwriting is too small, just increase the handwriting to writing a bigger letters. Rather than writing very small like this, you just write bigger letters. And for each sentence, leave a gap so that most of the space gets filled. And especially when you have to fill 2 pages in during paucity of time, make use of diagrams or some sun diagrams or flow charts or any other tabular format. So there are multiple ways you can actually use to fill the pages. Now coming to the most important part, this is the content part. What I found the best for the introduction part is, in every question there will be one key concept from the syllabus on based on which the question is being asked. So straight away define that key concept. You won't be wasting much time thinking about what to write or what is will be the best introduction. Just straight away define the key concept and immediately substantiate it. Do not just define and leave it. Substantiate it with, for example, if there is a question on emotional intelligence, uh, write a definition of Daniel Goleman and substantiate it with Kerry Goetz study. Or if any quality is being asked, just define the quality and write an example of any civil servant or any other person. If any specific concept is being asked, define the concept and quote any thinker's idea on it. So these things you can do in the intro. Do not try to be innovative in the examination hall. If you want to be innovative, do it beforehand, practice it, and straight away implement it in the examination hall. Don't try to innovate any new things in the examination hall. Usually it won't end up in a better output. I'm not against innovation, just try beforehand itself. In the body part, most of the questions can be divided into two subparts, subpart 1 and subpart 2. Either most of the questions will be on the lines of how far do you agree. So you can straight away use the exact words given in the question only to make your subheading, such as agreeable part, non-agreeable part, and in the conclusion you can say the overall judgment of your understanding of the topic. So use words from the question itself. Explain the utility. If the question is based on explain the utility, you just use utility in the heading itself. If they are asking how is it, what are the consequences of it, just use consequences in the heading itself. Whatever they are asking in the head in the question part, you have to use the same words so that the examiner feels that you have addressed all the demands of the question. It's only for to make him understand the answer part easily, not to be any nice or innovative or any other thing. Be simplistic, write quickly. Ethics paper, time is of utmost importance. So please have a mind map on what you are going to do in intro, body, conclusion, and every other point. And each support should have 4 to 5 points, and each point should have one argument, and which is basically of keywords and one substantiation. You don't have time to write multiple words in one argument and explain it, elaborate it in 2 3 lines. Your argument should be crisp, such as how is if the point has to be on one of the points on utility of ethics. Do not just explain it on the lines of ethics helps human beings in improving the trustworthiness and building social bonds. So it is keeping on elaborating it through 2 or 3 lines. It will take a lot of time, even for writing. You can condense it all into just one simple keyword of social capital by Pierre Bourdieu. So straight away write ethics. Keep a bullet point or any other thing which you like, 1 2 3 or bullet point or any other thing, and just straight away write helps in social capital and substantiated with Pierre Bourdieu. If you have any example, specific example where capital has helped any particular organization, you can even quote it in example. So try to write less words in your argument. It should be like, because anyways you'll be telling the direction of the sub part in the heading itself. So straight away write helps in, improves, such things. Do not use words it helps in. Do not use such extra words. Straight away write the argument. Straight away give a substantiation through examples. Examples can be of good examples and bad examples. Also similarly for the subpart 2, usually it will have either positives, negatives, or agreeable part, non-agreeable part, or merits, demerits, something on these lines only. Or there are subparts in the question itself. Explain this concept and then explain this concept also. So in that part, a similar strategy you have to follow for subpart 2 also. Use the words which are in the question itself for heading, and then write 4 to 5 points. Your whole answer should have not more than 10 points. One intro line, 4 to 5 in first part, 4 to 5 in second part, one conclusion line, not more than that. And when it comes to the conclusion part mostly depends on what the keyword of the question is. Do not just be simply futuristic and keep on quoting futuristic things or how it can inculcate, and do not have such frameworks, because we have to address what is the demand of the question, and demand of the question we can find it from keyword of the question. Keyword of the question usually are on these 3 lines. There are multiple keywords, but usually they are on these 3 lines only. One is comment, second one is either elaborate or elucidate, both are same, and the third one is discuss, analyze, examine. All these are same only. So just think of what does a comment mean. For example, if you have watched a movie and some friend is asking your comment on it, what do you comment on? You will either tell what you liked, or you will tell him what you did not like. So basically, if any question comes with a keyword of comment, you should first, in the introduction, as I said, you define the concept. In the subpart 1, you should quote what you liked, and in the subpart 2, you should quote what you did not like. And for the conclusion part, keep a heading as comment, because it is what specifically asked in the question. So you have to tell the examiner, yes, I am commenting on what you have asked. In the comment, just summarize what you have written. These are the things that I liked, and these are the things that I did not like. So it can be improved on these lines. This can be a good comment. And now, when it comes to elaborate or elucidate, again, if you have watched a movie and your friend is asking you to elaborate the movie, what will you do? You will just simply tell him, expand the whole movie and whatever in detail, and tell him. You will tell him the introduction shot. You will tell him the entry of hero, heroine, all those things, the songs, uh, interval bang, second half story, and pre-climax twist and climax conclusion also. So basically, elaborating is expanding and telling what all is there in the movie. So similarly, if the question is on elaborate or elucidate, define it in the introduction, give substantiate it, And in the you can use one subpart, one body part only. You don't need to use two subparts, especially for the elaborate or elucidate part. And then write what all are there in. Suppose if the elucidate is on emotional intelligence, you have to write five components of Daniel Goleman or four components of Mayor and Salovey. You have to expand and give examples to them and tell the examiner that you have elaborated. And in the conclusion part, just write a start the conclusion saying as elaborated above, and then write the either relevance or importance or whatever of the key concept of the question. In this way, you'll be telling the examiner that you have asked me to elaborate. Since you will be writing as elaborated above, you are telling him that yes, you have asked me to elaborate, and I have elaborated. As I have elaborated, this is what my view of that particular key concept is. And in that your view, you can give utility or you can give relevance or how what are the consequences of it or any other thing. But basically, you have to show the examiner that you have asked me to comment, I have commented. You have asked me to elaborate, I have elaborated. And again, the same thing for discuss, analyze, or examine part. If some friend of yours asks you to discuss the movie, you will discuss what you liked, what you didn't like, and you will also tell why you didn't like it or why you liked it. These are the things mostly done by critics or movie reviewers. In the review part, they won't just simply tell you the story, they won't reveal it, but they'll be telling what they liked, what they did not like, and why they liked and why they did not like. They'll be discussing them, they'll be analyzing them. Just think of examine. Even in the examination, what are teachers or evaluators trying to do? They're trying to know how good are you and where you are not good at, and they'll have reasons why you are good and why you are not good by giving marks. So this is what we also have to do. If they give any statement, if they're asking us to discuss, analyze, or examine, we have to tell them the good parts and why they are good also. So you can basically divide it into what are valid and why they are valid, and what are not valid and why they are not valid in these lines. And again, in the conclusion, since the keyword is discussed, you just start the conclusion with as discussed above or as analyzed above or as examined, and you show your final judgment where you can tell why they are good or why they are not good, or why you like them, why you like which parts among them, or why you didn't like which parts among them. And if the question is not on these lines, you can always use quotes if it is aligning with the question, or you can use the current relevance as I have said. Now this is for the normal questions part, 10 markers. There are three code based questions also. These are my favorite part, which fetched me multiple little bit better marks compared to others. So even in the essay, I want to understand that even in the essay there is one quote and you have to write 10 to 12 pages on it. And even in this 10 marker there is one quote and you have to write 2 pages on it. So what I thought was, why not just condense my whole essay preparation for if all the themes into one point and just finish it in 2 pages so that it can be more as comprehensive as the essay itself. That is what at first I thought. Then slowly by talking to some friends, I also found that it is best to incorporate one diagram also. Any diagrammatic representation of just the quote itself. So just think on the lines of a mini essay which you have to write only in 2 pages. So for the intro part, whatever the key concept is, the quote is trying to stress, just define it. If the quote is talking about anger, define anger, that it is a negative emotion and other things. If the key concept is talking about charity is a positive value or good quality to have, and define what charity means, and substantiate it with any example who is good at charity, like Tata, or anger. Good example of anger like Virat Kohli. Bad example of anger like Angulimala from Buddha's story. Any other thing which you have previously prepared beforehand itself. So coming to the body, just develop a practice of representing what the quote in a diagrammatic form or pictographic form, whatever it is. If I want to give you an example, there is a quote on a woman in this 2023 minutes that I've just written. It goes on something like, if you empower women, it will empower family, it will then empower the village, and then it will empower the nation. The quote is on the word lines, but I've just shown it in diagrammatic representation, the how each is translating into next part, and I gave examples for each and every part of it. So just representing the quote itself in the diagrammatic manner also just gives some innovative part to the examiner of relieving from the monotonic correction that he is doing. And there is another quote on uh, one person act by acting and showing compassion is much better than 1,000 people actually praying. So I just used a graphic representation of it. In the y-axis, I showed the utility. In the x-axis, I showed the number of people. And for one person, I gave it much height, and for multiple people, I gave it less height. So that the utility for one person acting is much higher than 1,000 people just praying and not acting. So that way you can show, you can prepare such things beforehand. I'll also be showing you how to make diagrams out of quotes in my video essay series. And one more quote is also there. I'm unable to remember it right now. So, and just based on essay themes also, after writing the definition, showing it in diagram, then I'll be writing one point on the importance or relevance of the quote. I'll be writing one with example. I'll be writing one point on how to inculcate that whatever key concept they are trying to stress. If it is a negative thing, how to avoid not inculcating it or something on that lines with example. Again, how the code gets established. There will be a context of telling the code. Concept. The code won't be simply on the concept. There will be some context to it. So I'll also be telling how it gets established, like how empowering women translates into family, translates into nation, translates into a village, and then the nation. So I'll be establishing it in one point. And for one point, I'll be also writing antithesis also. Any quote or anything cannot be universally true in this whole universe. This is what that whole concept of Anekantavad or Shadvad is based on. So write one point on antithesis also. Write that sometimes if it comes to that quote on how 1,000 people praying is not as good as one people acting. Sometimes say that if people are not in a position to act, rather than doing nothing, praying itself is also helpful. Showing it is also kind of showing empathy only, even though it is not a compassion, it is still empathy. So just write one kind of opposite view also, one point on opposite view, not more than that. In essay, we'll be writing a bit more. In essay, we'll be elaborating all these things a bit more. So I just want you to, since make this as a mini essay, so condense all those into one point and substantiate them. And conclusion, again I want you to refer to the key word of the question. The question will be on what does these following quotes mean to you. So you have to show at least in the conclusion before the evaluator gives marks that my understanding of the quote is something on that lines. My view on the quote is, just write a synthesis of the whatever you have incorporated in all these things, the thesis plus antithesis part, and something a bit more, which is will be the synthesis part. So now coming to the case studies part, this is not the most priority for me. My most priority is finishing the 10 markers as quickly as possible and as good as possible, which I am confident about, and finish all the case studies within 15 minutes. I won't be writing anything extra. I'll straight away. One more thing I want to tell you is don't start reading the case study before reading the key parts asked in the case study. First, straight away go to the key parts asked in the case study, and then read the whole case study, looking for what has actually been asked. Sometimes they'll ask ethical dilemmas, sometimes they'll ask ethical issues, sometimes they'll ask options and evaluation of options, sometimes they'll ask course of action. So whatever they are asking, just look out for those in the case study itself and just underline them, so that it will be less time taking and easy for you to actually quickly cover it in 15 minutes. You can use the same tip for CSAT also. Don't straight away read the comprehension, then try to attempt the question. First read the questions, then look for the answers in the comprehension. It will be much more better than the other way around. So first you will be reading the key parts, studying the case study, and straight away you have to show what the key dilemma in the question is. I remember one case study in this 2023 where you have to take a decision on whether blood can be taken from willing donors and directly administered to a dying pregnant lady. So answer the key dilemma straight away, whether you have to follow the rules or you have to show empathy and compassion. And you can quote some real life example of it where such dilemma has presented itself. I have collected some mythical examples also. I'll be showing you in my videos series. A few examples are whenever you have to persuade a team or your juniors, you can use the mythological example of Krishna persuading Arjuna, or whenever you have to. There are other examples also. I'll be discussing them in video series. And then in the introduction itself, I felt it better to tell the examiner what theory you are using to actually resolve the key dilemma. One thing most of the people are forgetting in the case study part is resolving the key dilemma. They'll simply finish it with course of action, some measures, and they'll finish it. But after telling the key dilemma, are you telling him how to resolve the key dilemma? And if you are going to resolve the key dilemma, using which theory you are going to resolve the key dilemma also should be quoted, right? So that is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you'll be using utilitarian theory to resolve it. Sometimes you'll be doing using deontology to resolve it. Sometimes you'll be using concepts such as social influence or persuasion to resolve it. So whatever you're using, just quote it straight away in the introduction part. So it has to be very crisp. Don't write multiple things. Just write the case study. The above case study refers to resolving the this key dilemma, and which is on the similar lines of some real life example or some mythological example, any one thing. And I'll be using this theory to resolve. I'll be or you can write it in third form or active voice, any other thing. Particular theory to resolve the key dilemma. And straight away come to the body part. Do not write. There are very famous themes currently going on in the market, like write what the actor's position is, write the facts of the case, write key stakeholders of the case, show them in diagrammatic form. But nowadays they are not even asking any of these, and you'll be wasting a lot of time just writing a very good case study. I just want you to write good case study in 15 minutes. I don't want you to write very good case study taking 20 to 25 minutes. It will be highly detrimental for you. Just aim for 10 marks in case studies and go on, because if you write 13 questions very nicely, you'll be roughly on an average you'll be getting 6 to 6.5 marks. Even conservatively, if you assume 13 into 6 and 10 into 6, this becomes 60. This is 78. You'll still be getting much higher than what most of the other people are getting. So please focus on finishing case studies as quickly as possible and writing the 10 markers better. So answer to the point, whatever has been asked in the question, straight away answer those parts only. If the first sub part is evaluate the options, straight away quote the options and evaluate them based on merits and demerits. Don't write stakeholders. You can write if you are able to finish it in 15 minutes, but I found it difficult to write all those and still finish it in 15 minutes. Try it in your test series and see for yourself whatever suits you. What I did was straight away answer whatever was asked in the case study. Whatever subpart is asked, I'll straight away start with it. Usually, it will be like identify ethical issues or ethical dilemmas, or identify the options and evaluate it. Ethical issues, I'll be giving few. Whenever you are reading a case study, whenever you see something wrong going on, it is an ethical issue. So straight away underline it and write all those in bullet format. If it is regarding ethical dilemmas, I have compiled few ethical dilemmas. You have to by heart them beforehand itself. Don't think. Straight away quickly write some 7 8 ethical dilemmas by hearting them beforehand itself. And next comes to the options part. Do not create options which are either true, 100% true or right. I mean ethically right or ethically wrong. Both, if you write completely ethically right or ethically wrong options, it will be difficult for you to actually analyze them into merits and demerits, because if it is ethically right, mostly you'll be having merits only, or if it is 100% ethically wrong, it will be having more of demerits only. It won't be having much of merits. Even if you are trying to create it, it will show a negative impression on you only, that you are trying to show merits for something which is ethically wrong. So I want you to create options which are comprehensive, and for that comprehensive nature you have to show it through justification also. So again, coming to the same case study where one pregnant lady is battling for her life, and you have to decide whether you want to give donated blood, or whether you want to wait for the blood from blood camp, and which is verified, and then only administer it. So prepare an option in such a way that uh, collect the blood from collect the blood from the donors, so that the life of mother and child can be saved. It can be one comprehensive option. And the second comprehensive action can be on the lines of do not collect, do not administer the collect the blood, but do not administer it. Uh, Stop the blood flow and wait for the uh, registered blood bank to arrive and give it, such that only the verified blood can be given to it. So make it a little bit of comprehensive with justification, so that both options should seem like both are equally uh, good options. Both have some merit in it. Then only you'll be able to easily identify the merits and demerits in the option, and you have to actually analyze it. So even in the merits and demerits part, you have to use theories, you have to use thinkers, you have to use some principles like no harm principle or doctrine of double effect, or I've collected a few theories and thinkers which you can be used. I'll be talking to them during the discussion of case studies. You have to use theories, you have to use thinkers to show that merit. Simply writing this will help save the child is not enough. This will help save the child and uphold the value of human life, something on that lines. It has to be a little bit specific. And then when it comes to the course of action, please divide it into short term and long term measures, because short term measures will be addressing the immediate problem resolution, alleviating the problem or resolving the problem, and long term measures should be on the lines of way forward, which you write in GS answers. They should be such that problem does not occur again. And when it comes to the conclusion part, and even in the case studies, even in the body part also, you should use multiple theories, multiple examples: deontology, teleology, virtue based ethics, justice based ethics, John Rawls theory of ignorance, veil of ignorance. You can use diagrams, Lawrence Kohlberg's various stages of society, uh, multiple themes and thinkers you can use depending on the case study. When I discuss them in the videos, I'll be talking more about them. And when it comes to the conclusion, it also should be again crisp again. Just focus on three things. You straight away tell them what cannot be compromised. In this case study, what cannot be compromised is letting the pregnant lady die, because it involves lives of two people, the mother and the child. So straight away quote that at any cost, I would not jeopardize the life of mother and child. And using that whatever theory which we have talked about before to resolve the key dilemma in justifying your option, quote it and say that by doing so, as per this theory or thinker, I will be upholding whatever values rights. In this case, the life and dignity of that mother and child, and the rights of unborn child, rights of mother, even the rights of donors who are willing to donate, and the values of empathy and compassion. All these you can quote at the end. So quickly finish. Case studies are a bit less on priority for me compared to the questions. Questions are much more rewarding, and it's better to impress the examiner, as I've told you, through 13 different questions than 6 different case studies. And anyways, 130 marks is always better than 120 marks, more than better 120 marks. So quickly finish the case study in 15 minutes and move on. So to have a basic understanding before starting my lecture, you can read any one coaching book. Watch the video series only after having some basic understanding, because I am not a lecturer, I am just an aspirant like you. I'll be only showing you the guide direction in which you have to follow, so that you can quickly able to finish the syllabus. Any one coaching book. Many of the toppers suggest Forum Red Book, even I found it very nice only. But any other thing is also equally good. Sunya is good, Vision is good, even any other Raz, every Lukman, many things are good only. But use only one source, get a basic understanding, and make your own notes, as I suggest you through the video series. And if you come across any current examples randomly, Just collect and keep them. Do not specifically read newspaper or any other source just to collect examples, because later on I'll suggest you some things such as Kalamaya's Marks Maximizer scheme or Sunya's examples book, where you can find most of the examples. Don't specifically waste time on it. And if you have time, then only watch Michael Sandel lectures from Harvard University. If it is for 2024 attempt, ignore this also. And the video series which I'm talking about, I'll be discussing the whole ethics syllabus. I'll be dividing it into subparts, and each subpart I'll see which questions have been previously asked. I'll be telling you how to answer all those previous year's questions, and I'll also show you a few topos copies how people are actually attempting the ethics answers, so that you will get an idea and how where you stand at compared to the actual toppers. So yeah, PYQs, toppers copies. Sometimes I'll show my notes also. If you can extract any good points which can be useful for you, I'll be showing my notes and answers if it finds you helpful, so you can utilize it. And once again, I'm telling you, it is not my video series is not a conceptual explanation. It will be a little bit more advanced than that, because as I've said, I'm not a lecturer. I'm just like an aspirant like you. So I'll be only giving you a direction. You have to go in that direction. Action has to be taken ultimately by you. So get a basic understanding and follow the video series. That's it from my side, guys. Thank you.